My childhood best friend demanded I give her my luxury car because she deserved it more. When I refused, she screamed, "You owe me for being your friend." The next morning, my car was gone and a note was left. "Thanks for the gift." I smiled, dialing a number. Time to teach her a lesson. I never thought I'd be the type of person to call the cops on someone I once considered my best friend. But I also never thought that friend would steal my car and leave a smug little note like she was doing me a favor. Let me start from the beginning. I grew up in a suburb just outside Chicago. My parents weren't rich, but they worked their asses off to give me a good life. We weren't struggling, but we weren't living in luxury either. My dad was the type to drive the same car for 15 years. My mom used coupons for everything. They believed in saving, in working for what you wanted, and in never expecting handouts. Then there was Samantha. Samantha and I had been best friends since we were kids. We met in kindergarten, did everything together, and for the longest time, I thought she had my back the same way I had hers. But looking back, I can see the red flags. She was always bitter about money. Her family had it rough. Her parents weren't around much, and when they were always fighting about bills. She had hand-me-downs while I had new sneakers. Her birthday parties were small, while mine had bounce houses. And even though I never bragged about what I had, I could feel the resentment build over the years. She had this weird obsession with fairness. If I got a new backpack for school, she'd sigh and say, "It must be nice." If I got a new phone, she'd say, "Ugh, I wish my parents cared enough to get me things." She would act like life was one big balance sheet, and every good thing that happened to me somehow meant she was being cheated. And the worst part? She genuinely thought I owed her for being there for me. She'd say things like, "I was your friend before you had anything. That means something." Or, when I got my first part-time job in high school, she'd joke, "Now that you're making money, you should take me out more." I deserve it. She played it off as humor. But deep down, I knew she wasn't joking. Life moved on. She didn't. After high school, we drifted apart. I went to college and busted my ass to land a good job. I worked long hours, made smart choices, and after years of saving, I finally bought myself a dream car, a brand new BMW M4, black, sleek, and fast as hell. It wasn't just a car. It was a symbol of everything I had worked for. Then, out of nowhere, Samantha popped back into my life. She found me on social media and sent me a message. "Samantha, OMG, it's been forever. Let's catch up." I didn't think much of it. People grow apart, and sometimes they reconnect. I figured, why not? Big mistake. We met up at my place on a Saturday. She pulled up in a beat-up old Honda, and the second she saw my car in the driveway, her entire face changed. Her eyes widened. She walked up to it like she was in a trance. "This is yours." I nodded, feeling a little proud. "Yeah, just got it a few months ago." She let out this ugly laugh. The kind that's half disbelief, half jealousy. "Damn. I never thought you'd be the type to blow money on something like this." "Blow money?" I brushed it off. "I worked for it." Then, out of nowhere, she goes, "You should let me have it." I thought she was joking. I laughed. "Yeah, right." She wasn't laughing. "No, I'm serious," she said. "I deserve this more than you." I blinked. "What?" She folded her arms, tilting her head like I was the one being crazy. "You've always had things handed to you. You don't need a luxury car. I've struggled my whole life. I deserve something nice for once." I was so stunned that I just stared at her. She kept going. "You wouldn't even be where you are if it wasn't for me. I was your best friend. I was there for you when no one else was." That means something, right? Now, let me make this clear. I don't owe anyone for being my friend. Friendship isn't a contract where one person has to pay up later. I scoffed. "Sam, that's not how this works." She rolled her eyes. "Wow. I thought you were better than this. I thought you'd want to give back to someone who actually needs it." Give back? I was done. I stepped back and crossed my arms. "No, you're not getting my car." End of discussion. Her face twisted with rage. "You're so selfish." Then she stormed out. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The next morning, my car was gone. I woke up early, ready to grab coffee. I walked outside, went to my driveway, and froze. My car was gone. At first, I thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I parked it somewhere else? Maybe it was towed? Then I saw it. A note taped to my front door. I still remember exactly what it said. "Thanks for the gift. I deserve it more. Don't bother calling the cops, you wouldn't do that to your best friend." My hands shook as I read it. My chest burned with anger. I should have been freaking out, panicking, but instead, I smiled, because Samantha had no idea who she was messing with. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to a number, and hit dial. "Hey, detective. I need your help. The moment my uncle picked up, I felt a sense of calm settle over me. "What's up?" he said, his voice groggy. "Sam stole my car," I said. There was a pause. "What?" I could hear him sitting up. My uncle, Detective Mark Evans, had been with the Chicago PD for over 20 years. He was the kind of guy who had seen it all: murders, fraud, gang activity. A stolen car wasn't the biggest case of his career, but when I told him who took it and how, he let out a long whistle. "Wow, that girl has some nerve." I clenched my jaw. She left a note, too. Like she thinks this is funny. Oh, it's funny, all right. Because she just made the dumbest move of her life. I could hear him grabbing his things. "You still got that GPS tracker installed?" I grinned. Yep. I logged into the tracking app and saw the little red. She hadn't even bothered to leave town. The car was parked at a cheap motel near the highway. The kind of place where people paid in cash and didn't ask questions. I texted my uncle the location. "Meet me there in 30 minutes, he replied. And just like that, the hunt was on. I pulled up to the grimy motel parking lot. There, in plain sight, was my BMW, parked right outside room 112. She didn't even try to hide it. A few minutes later, my uncle's unmarked car rolled in. He stepped out, adjusting his badge under his jacket. "Let's do this smart," he said. "We don't know who she's with or if she's high on some kind of power trip." We walked up to the door and I knocked. Nothing. I knocked again, harder this time. From inside, I heard shuffling, then a loud thud like something being knocked over. Then, footsteps. The door swung open, and there stood Samantha, looking shocked. She had the nerve to smile. "Oh, hey, I was just about to call you." I stared at her. She was wearing my sunglasses. "Where's my car key?" I asked. She waved her hand. "Relax. We'll talk inside." "Hell no." I pushed past her, my uncle right behind me. Inside, the motel room was a mess: fast food wrappers, a half-empty bottle of cheap wine, and my car keys sitting on the nightstand. I grabbed them immediately. "You need to leave," I said, voice shaking with anger. She laughed. "Oh, come on. Don't be so dramatic. I was just borrowing it for a bit." My uncle took out his phone. "Samantha, do you understand you stole a vehicle worth over $80,000? Her smile dropped. "It's not stealing. We're best friends." I let out a sharp breath. "We're not friends. Not anymore." Her face twisted in anger. "Wow. After everything I've done for you." I couldn't take it anymore. "You're insane," I snapped. "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't press charges." She scoffed. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. "Because if you do, you'll regret it." My uncle stepped forward. That sounded like a threat. She crossed her arms. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. But let's just say, if I go down, I'm not going alone. I narrowed my eyes. "What the hell does that mean?" She smirked. "Remember high school? Remember that night we—" My uncle cut her off. "Enough. If you're trying to blackmail my nephew, I suggest you rethink your strategy. We have everything we need to put you behind bars." Her expression changed again. She wasn't in control anymore, and she knew it. She turned to me, her voice sickly sweet. "Come on. You don't really want to ruin my life over a stupid car, do you?" I held up the keys. "You already ruined your own life." And then, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and froze. Her face paled. Then, without another word, she grabbed her bag and ran. Straight out the door. My uncle and I stared at each other for a second. Then he went after her. But by the time we got outside, she was gone. She didn't take my car. She didn't take her old Honda. She just ran. I turned to my uncle. "What the hell was that?" He looked at me, his jaw tight. "I don't know. But something tells me this isn't over." And that's when I realized Samantha wasn't just some entitled, selfish thief. She was running from something. Or someone. And somehow I was now in the middle of it. Samantha vanished. One second, she was standing there, smug and defiant. The next, she was bolting into the night like the devil himself was after her. And that's when I knew this wasn't just about my car anymore. Something bigger was going on. My uncle swore under his breath, pulling out his radio. "We need officers on the east side of the motel." Suspect fled on foot. He turned to me. "I don't like this." Neither did I. I still had my car, but something about the way she ran, the way her face drained of color when she saw that phone call. She wasn't just scared of getting arrested. She was scared of something else. The next morning, I was still shaken up. My car was back in my driveway where it belonged, but sleep had been impossible. I kept replaying the scene in my head, her fake smile, the smug little note she left, that instant panic when her phone rang. What was she running from? I got my answer sooner than I expected, because at exactly 7:15 a.m., someone knocked on my door. I peeked through the peephole. A man in a suit. Late 40s. Sharp features. Cold expression. Everything about him screamed bad news. I didn't open the door, but then he pulled something out of his jacket. A photo. And, even through the peephole, I could see it was Samantha. Shit. I cracked the door open just an inch. Can I help you? The man smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. I think you can. He flipped the photo in his hand. You know this woman? I hesitated. A million thoughts rushed through my head. Who was this guy? A cop? A bounty hunter? Someone worse? I played dumb. Who is she? His expression didn't change. I think you already know. I swallowed hard. Why are you looking for her? He sighed, slipping the photo back into his jacket. She took something that doesn't belong to her. Oh, the irony. He took a step closer. She was seen at a motel last night. You were there too, weren't you? My stomach turned to ice. How the hell did he know that? I forced myself to stay calm. I don't know where she is. He studied me for a long moment. Then he pulled something else from his pocket. A card. Black, no logo, just a single phone number. If she contacts you, call me. I didn't take it. So he simply tucked it into my mailbox and walked away. No threats. No warnings. Just that same eerie calm. And somehow, that was worse. As soon as he was gone, I called my uncle. Some guy showed up at my house looking for Samantha. His voice went sharp. Describe him. I did. Silence. Then, we need to talk. Now. We met at a diner outside the city. I expected my uncle to tell me this guy was some loan shark or maybe a pissed-off ex-boyfriend. But what he said next nearly made me drop my coffee. Samantha is under federal investigation. I blinked. What? He leaned in, keeping his voice low. I did some digging after last night. Turns out, she's been flagged in multiple fraud cases. Fraud? She's been running scams. Credit card fraud, fake IDs, identity theft. She's deep in it. My heart pounded. And then it hit me. She didn't steal my car because she wanted it. She stole it because she needed it to run. I swallowed. Who was that guy at my door? My uncle hesitated. I don't know. That scared me more than anything. Because if a veteran detective had no idea who this man was, then Samantha was mixed up in something way worse than I thought. That night, I was jumpy as hell. I kept checking my phone, half expecting another visit from Mr. Creepy Suit. Then, at 2:36 a.m., my phone lit up. A text from an unknown number. I knew it was her before I even opened it. Samantha, I'm in trouble. I need your help. I stared at the screen, my hands clenched so tight my knuckles turned white. She had already dragged me into her mess once. And now she was trying again. I should have ignored it. I should have blocked the number. But instead, I replied, "Where are you?" The moment I sent the text, I regretted it. My phone screen glowed in the dark room, my heart hammering as 3 little dots appeared. She was typing. Then the message came through. Samantha, meet me at the old train yard. Midnight. Alone. I exhaled sharply. This was a trap. My uncle's warning rang in my head. Samantha isn't just a thief. She's a scam artist. A criminal. And yet, I still had that stupid voice in the back of my mind whispering, what if she really needs help? I had to see this through. I grabbed my keys. The place was deserted. Rusted-out train cars sat like forgotten skeletons, and the streetlights flickered weakly. My BMW idled as I scanned the area. Then I saw her. She stepped out from behind a train car, wearing a hoodie too big for her frame, her eyes darting around like a trapped animal. I got out, keeping the car door open in case I needed to bolt. What the hell is going on, Samantha? She bit her lip, then rushed forward and grabbed my arm. You have to help me, she whispered. I pulled away. Help you? You stole my car. You left me a damn note like it was some kind of joke. And now some creepy guy is knocking on my door looking for you. Who is he? Her face twisted. He found you. That reaction told me everything. Who is he, Sam? She ran a shaking hand through her hair. I don't know his real name, but people call him Mr. Black. The name sent a chill down my spine. Why is he looking for you? She hesitated. Samantha. She swallowed hard. Because I stole from him. My stomach dropped. You stole from him? I hissed. She nodded, her eyes glossy with panic. It wasn't supposed to go this far. It was just a job, fake IDs, a little credit card fraud. But then I got access to his account. I thought I could just take a little and disappear. I stared at her. How much? She looked away. 200,000. The world stopped. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. Jesus Christ, Samantha. She wiped at her face. I didn't have a choice. I was broke. I was drowning in debt, I laughed, but it came out harsh and bitter. So instead of getting a job, you stole 200 grand from a dangerous man? She grabbed my hands. I didn't think he'd come after me. I thought I covered my tracks. Well, you didn't. Her grip tightened. That's why I need your help. I yanked my hands away. Are you kidding me? You already dragged me into this. Do you even realize what you've done? She was shaking. Please. I ran a hand down my face. What do you want from me, Samantha? She hesitated. And that's when I knew. I knew before she even said it. Your car, she said softly. If I can get far enough away, I let out a harsh laugh. Oh my God. You're unbelievable. She reached for me again. I don't have anyone else. Please, I'll pay you back, stop lying. She flinched. You don't need my help, I spat. You need another person to screw over. Tears welled in her eyes. I don't want to die. And just like that, anger turned to ice-cold fear. What do you mean? She sniffed. Mr. Black doesn't send warnings. He sends messages. My stomach churned. I should have walked away. But now, I couldn't. I took a step back. Get in the car. She blinked. What? Get in the car. She scrambled into the passenger seat, and I gunned it out of the train yard. We're going to my uncle. Her head snapped toward me. What? No. He's a cop, yeah. A cop who actually gives a damn about me. Unlike you. She gritted her teeth. I knew you'd do this. Do what? Do the right thing? Sorry, I don't commit felonies for fun, Samantha. She turned her face away, jaw tight. I sped through the streets, my hands gripping the wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. Then, headlights appeared behind us. Close. Too close. Tell me that's not him, I said. Samantha slowly turned around. Her face went pale. Drive faster. The car behind us sped up. I could see it now, a black SUV with tinted windows. My heart slammed against my ribs. I swerved into a side street, hoping to lose them, but they matched my every move. He's going to kill me, Samantha whispered. For the first time that night, I actually believed her. I pressed the gas. We weaved through traffic. The SUV gained on us. Call my uncle, I barked. She fumbled for my phone, hands shaking. The SUV hit my back bumper. The car jerked forward. Jesus Christ. My uncle picked up. Uncle Mark. We're being chased. I swerved onto a highway ramp. The SUV followed. Where are you? My uncle demanded. Samantha read the street signs. My uncle cursed. Keep driving. I'm sending units now. The SUV slammed into us again. I nearly lost control. But then, sirens. Flashing blue and red lights filled my rearview mirror. We're going to make it, I muttered. The SUV suddenly slowed down. Then, it turned off the highway and disappeared. We pulled into the police station. I cut the engine. My hands were shaking. Samantha sat there, staring at nothing. My uncle was already waiting. Out! Now. We stepped out, and I tossed him my keys. She needs protection. Samantha scoffed. I need a lawyer. I turned to her, feeling the last of my patience snap. You don't get to act tough anymore, Samantha. You lost. She laughed bitterly. Did I? I stared at her, exhausted. What does that mean? She just shook her head. But my uncle answered for her. It means Mr. Black doesn't stop looking. I swallowed hard. So what happens now? My uncle sighed. She goes into custody. And you? He clapped a hand on my shoulder. You go home. And you never, ever let people like her back into your life. I turned to Samantha one last time. Her face was blank. There was nothing left to say. I never saw Samantha again. I don't know if she cut a deal, if she ran, or if Mr. Black eventually found her. All I know is I was done. She stole my car. She betrayed me. She almost got me killed. And for what? So she could keep running? I drove home that night with a weird feeling in my chest. Not anger. Not relief. Just emptiness. I had lost someone I once considered my best friend. But honestly, I think I lost her a long time ago.